great. We had a good workout today. Very competitive. Had a, it was a nice mix. 2 guards, 2 bigs, 2 wings. Able to play some good 3-on-3. So it was fun.
Is this process any different without a head coach right now, or is it mostly the same?
It is, I would say, mostly the same. Obviously, you would prefer to have a coach around and get their input, and just sometimes they'll see things that you don't necessarily see. So it's nice to have that voice. But I think it's pretty similar otherwise to the way it's been the past few years.
Is there a particular regimen that you guys have designed over the years that you're using, or have you changed anything in terms of the way you work these guys?
I'd say we've tweaked it every year, and we also tweak it based on who's in the workout. If you have a workout that's all guards, you're going to do very different stuff than in a workout like this where we had 2 bigs. So it depends on who's in the workout, but it's also a process that I think we've tweaked and refined in the time I've been here.
How much with these workouts do you want to use for your position in the draft as opposed to just seeing guys who after the draft you could sign?
Yeah, I think it's both of those things, and we have pick 57 too that we have to think about. We have the ability to maybe, obviously in the draft like we did last year, we jumped in to grab Andrew Harrison. We didn't necessarily have that pick coming into the draft, so you always want to be prepared for any scenario coming into the draft. So really, the thing I always say is you scout the whole draft, and then you kind of know whether it's what moves are worthwhile when you get to draft day.
John, so should people maybe not look specifically at the players that you're bringing in and locking it into? Are they looking at that for 17 or 57? You guys are just trying to get a look at as many players as possible because you don't know how the draft will fall.
Yeah, I think it's both those things a little bit. Obviously we have target guys that we really want to bring in, because we think that they're sort of in our wheelhouse at 17. We may not necessarily be able to get all those guys in, and obviously you want to do more than that if you can and research as many players as possible. So it's really both those things.
One of the guys that was here, obviously, Memphis Ties and Octavius Ellis, went to Cincinnati.
Sure.
What did you see from him today in terms of what you liked or what he needs to work on?
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much confidential information, I guess. But I don't think it's a big secret what kind of player he is. He's an undersized 5. He's bouncy. He's long. You guys saw him. He played here, every year when he was at Cincy, and he's a local product. So I think you guys already, pretty much know the book on him, and I think he showed that ability here today.
Sure. He's one of those guys that has mentioned his off-the-court issues. When you are looking,
is it having an international guy here, and how does he fit in? Does he speak English well? And
I think his basketball English was good enough that it didn't impede us from doing anything on the court. Obviously we weren't having detailed discussions about politics and economics or anything, but just basketball-wise, he's been here before. He played in the Hoop Summit last year over here, and so I think he has some experience with that. Obviously, if he were to come into the league, I think he would have to spend a lot of time working and getting better just at his functional day-to-day sort of English.
Is he a first-round prospect?
I probably don't want to comment too much. You can go on the draft sites and assorted things and probably see about what his range is.
Well, how did he look for you today?
He's very skilled for his size. Very long frame. Knows how to play. I think. I don't think it's an open secret. Physical strength is probably the biggest thing he needs to work on, and just getting game experience against high-level players. So he's an interesting prospect, and just somebody we have to continue evaluating as we get closer.
John, the dynamics of the game are going to change.